welcome back to the Blackbird Shed. Just going to do some cleaning today. I'll show you a video of what's underneath the Mannikin hen, 2 chicks. It's a little video. Don't want to disturb them too much. Just going to try and clean these cages out. So also, if you're interested, I'm going to show you me cleaning the fish tank, the Tanganykan. Alright, if you're not interested in that though, obviously just shoot past it. Cheers, thanks. Yeah, so one thing we're going to do is, before I show you the cleaning out of this here, I mentioned the fish tank. So I'm going to show you that video now. If you want to fast forward through it, I'm not sure how long it is. I'll probably put it here how long that video is if you want to fast forward across it if you're not interested in fish. But I think it's quite, well, it's my hobby, isn't it? It's one of my other hobbies, so obviously I do appreciate it, but you might not, so if you want to fast forward, that's great. Thanks very much anyway, and I'll catch up with you in a bit when we carry on with the birds. Cheers. So I'm just cleaning out the filter. This is for the Tanganykan fish that I've got in a 370 litre tank, 6 foot by 18 inches by 18 inches, and this tank was set up just before lockdown. I have cleaned the filter 1 or 2 times, maybe 3 times, shortly after it was put together, but since then I've it's probably I mean, lockdown was March last year, we're in February. By March 2 years ago, and it's February this year. It's got to be at least 18 months since I've cleaned this filter, but it's doing a great job. I just feel that it's about time to do it now. I've left it far too long really, but it just shows that you don't always have to change your filters every month. Right, so there's a lot of detritus in this bit here, absolutely tons of it. This is the top layer, which has got the media in it. And just basically put that into some water I've taken from the tank, if you can see that. So another bag of carbon, and that I will I'll put into the filter. It's just carbon capsules in a bag. Now I've cleaned that in the water that we had. There's no bits in there, but there's definitely beneficial bacteria on the media. The carbon in there as well. Get that to resettle. That'll be the top layer, so I'll put that down first. Now we've got another piece, another section. This one's got again these little tubes, and there's also some lava rock in that one. Wasn't a lot of mess in that one at all. This one we've got bioballs floating in there as well. So let's get this one out. Again, there's quite a lot of detritus in there. All good stuff, of course. It's a shame I'm not doing another tank, setting another tank up, because this stuff would certainly get everything started. Beneficial bacteria is all you really need to start a cycle of a tank. and otherwise if you're going to start from scratch, you filter, etc. You've got to put some fish in it, and you've got to cycle it for, well, put some small fish in, which you're not really that bothered about, I suppose. So fish like danios or something like that, and then you've got to really leave it for 6 weeks at least to get it cycled. I think I'll get rid of those balls. I've got a sponge underneath here. So let's get rid of all that. There's quite a lot of muck that's in there. Probably why the force of the water isn't the flow. It's just not as much at the moment. But that 18 months, water that's been in there 18 months, that is excessive. That's pretty clean, that. I might reuse that one. I've just used it to help polish the water. If I can get it in there, it covers all the area, I'll leave that in there. That's the third layer down. That one's down there. See if that'll go back in. There's filters, foam filters and fibre filters on the next layer down anyway. So this one's just an extra one I've put in. Not sure that it was really needed. Now the bioboards, obviously they're created in a particular way to give you maximum, or give you a lot of surface area for the beneficial bacteria to adhere to, but without taking up masses of room. The lava rock is just the same, very large surface area for the space it takes up. And there's other products as well which are even better. So, you know, I've got a bit of a mixture in here. Okay, this one was the one with the most lock-in. These are the denser filters, the coarser filters. We'll have to get them in the bucket and then we'll see how bad the muck is. The first filter that all the water goes through, the coarsest one. It captures most of the big bits. It should be at the bottom of the filter. I'm not going to clean that much more than that, I think. Just got to get any blockages. Put that in. This is one I've cut myself, you can see. And I've cut it out of some big sheets which I did get. It's cheaper to do it that way. This one, again, I've cut myself. You can see it's not a perfect fit. And this is denser. So if anything gets through that, it then gets into this. I'm not replacing these, because if I replace these, then at the moment I'll be losing out on any beneficial bacteria that's in there. And the bacteria that's in there is obviously good. It helps to maintain the tank. Nitrates and nitrites, and ammonia and all that stuff. I'm not exactly certain of in what order that is. I just know that the bacteria is beneficial and that it's a good thing, not a bad thing. If you did want to learn a bit more about beneficial bacteria, if you YouTube the DIY fish keeper, Joey, he'll go through that. Well, he's got some videos where he talks specifically about beneficial bacteria and the cycling. There's many others as well. This is the one I picked it up from years ago. Right, so then I'm going to tip this water away. There's not a lot of stuff in there. That's good. The last one I did, which was a smaller filter, there was a lot of muck in there. This hole is quite big, and that is where the ultraviolet light will go down. I'll put this around the right way. There's the back. Okay, so do the top. Okay, so the next one in. Yeah, making sure that the hole lines up. So the hole goes right down there. Straight down there, the hole goes, and that's where the water will go down, and it will then obviously come back up through the filters. Make sure these are in properly, otherwise you can't get the top on after. Just get rid of all the grit around the edges, so it doesn't stop the filter from positioning right. And then the final one, which has got the new carbon in it. Again, a lot of people say you don't need carbon. Probably don't. Put it in anyway. But the carbon, I believe carbon does need to be replaced. I think it does the final, I think it helps to clear the water. And then the top helps to keep all the bits in. Right, so we've now got a tube that goes right the way down. And that's all in position. We just need to put the top on now. So I've got the filter ready. The tank's just behind here. Next thing I'm going to do is put some water into the filter. I'm putting it down the pipe, and then it will come up through the filters. This is just to get as much in as possible, and then when you press the button to purge it, you're just pushing that last bit of air out to allow the motor to kick in and circulate the water without the air pockets. That took a lot. I've got, this is my list of what fish I've got in here. So I've got Altolamprologus Compressiceps, can I spell that? They're Kigoma Firefin. I've got a red fin on them. See it better when the tank's clean. Julidochromis, Transciptus, Bemba. The Julies, called Neolamprologus Cylindricus. Water. Neolamprologus got one of these Sexfasciatus gold, which is a striped one. Tropheus Ikola, that one I was on about, which shouldn't really be in this tank. Untitled Chapter. That is a shelled one. There was a pair of those, but the one died. Neolamprologus Leleupi. Now that's what I've got the most of. I had a pair. Well, I had two pairs. They bred. Both had. It's on one of my old videos. lemon cichlid, a lot of people call that, and Synodontis Luccipinnis, which is a catfish, which is as big as it probably will get. It's this sort of size. Won't get any bigger than that. Had it when it was about that size. Right, the water's up to a certain level there now, so we can put this in. So just like we did before. Get the solid bits first. So there's a rubber ring inside this which helps to seal. It's important that that's clear and that you haven't got any bits locking that and making that not work so good. Now underneath here I've got some power, which is what this is going to go into now. It's in the switched off. That goes through that hole into a bay of electrical sockets I've got along there. So that socket is wired in inside here. I can switch it off from in there as well if I wanted. This is the best place to do it. Right, let's see if we can get this in and you can all see it as well. So now we've got water in it, it becomes quite a bit heavier. So I've got to lift it in carefully, careful not to accidentally open it again. Get it into position. Put the cables in. And then this bit here, which I think you can see, yeah, that's the intake and outtake for the water. I'll just push that down. That's in position now, and all I do is I just pull this. There's a lever at the back, which I think you might be able to see there. I just pull that down, and it connects the waters up. That's done. Now, the tricky bit. I'm going to start the process. So we're going to switch it on. First thing I'm going to do is make sure that the output is underwater rather than above the water. Because that does help. I need to clean the input. No, I can clean it after. I'll have a look at that in a bit. Okay, we're going to switch it on. And then we're going to start to purge at the air. And you can hear those air bubbles. There we go. See there, it's starting to come out. One last little purge. And we want to do this until the air bubbles stop. There you go. Oh no. There you go. Perfect. Now the water's going to be perfect, absolutely lovely. But let's put a load of muck into the tank. By the way, the lights aren't on yet. There's a load of muck there. This is just stuff that's caught on the lining of the pipes. That will just go through this system. Okay, so I'm going to put the outtake back above water again now, and you can see it's flowing really well. I haven't quite got this right. I've got a green pipe, and I should really have a black pipe, more of a solid one, but it works good for me. I'm not bothered about what it looks like too much. You can see there's the water coming out at a good pace. I do need to get some more wave makers, because the ones I've got I've just packed in, and I've tried cleaning them out and they haven't made a difference. Right, so next thing we need to do is reduce the water level and then get some fresh water in. So I'll probably get the water down to, say, here, which is going to be, and we're going to get the water back up to there. So we're probably doing a 40% water change. So I'll pause the video for a bit and we'll crack on with that. And then by the time I've done that, the lights will probably be on. Oh, well, I've got to clean the front screens as well. Okay, so I've cleaned the front of the tank now, and I've also done a bit of cleaning of the gravel, the bottom, which is basically sand and the shell mix, which gives it a the right sort of pH for Tanganykan biotope. And the front's been cleaned, but it's still a bit cloudy because it's got to clean all the muck out of there. See how dusty that is, but within a couple of hours that'll be clear as anything. Obviously I've got to put more water back in now, so I'm just filling my little tub up now in here, and I've put some warm water in and now some cold water, and I'm just going to check the temperature. What I want it to be about is 26 degrees, and then I've got to put in some of this in, Aquasafe, which just dechlorinates the water, and then I will tip that in. But I've got quite a few of these to put in, maybe 8. I ran out of this, so I've got to go and get some more of this. So I'll pop and get that, and we'll have this finished. By the time I've got all this water in, to say here, we should be it should be clear. Should look the bee's knees. Right, so I'll catch up with it. So that's the first one. I think each one of these is giving me about 3/4 of an inch, maybe half an inch, so I've still got a lot to do. Let's have a look at some of the fish while we're... Sorry for the glare. So the orange ones are the Leleupi. That's the Sexfasciatus. There's a Cylindricus. The catfish was there. Oh, there's the boulangerie one there being chased. Yeah, they're not really out, a lot of them there. Right guys, so I've finished the cleaning of the tank, and let's have a little closer look at it. So on the on the right there, you can see the Synodontis catfish swimming across. It's quite small. They don't get bigger than that, so that's really full grown, I'd say. Beautiful catfish. It's the only one I've got. I am going to get some more. They'll be coming in about an inch long maximum, I should think, but the babies. That one's getting on for 4 inches now. And you can see the Leleupi in front. But it's a lot cleaner tank now. It's getting a bit clear. There's a few bits in there. You can see the back. There's a lot of algae on the back. I'll leave that on there. And you can see I've filled it up higher than it had been for quite a bit. There's a line there of like a tide mark almost. Probably need to just clear that off. There's quite a lot of caves and a lot of shells here as well. There's the Sexfasciatus. He's a lovely fish. Now, I call him Alan. The old one I had was called Alan, after Alan Shearer. He's after Alan St. Maxi. And so, otherwise I could call him Maxi, I suppose. There's the shell dweller there. Do need to probably get some Multifasciatus, because there's plenty of shells, but there's so many of these Leleupi in here. Like I say, they're all tank bred in this tank. There's a, oh, let's go on. There's a Julidochromis, which is a rock dweller. Catfish at the back again. And there's quite a lot of algae on these rocks. Like I say, this tank's 6 foot long, and I like it. It's perfect size for in here, I think. I just need there's a bit more cleaning to be done on the side part of the tank there. If you don't clean it for a long time, it's a bit hard to get the algae off the glass, but it doesn't do them any harm. And there's a little bit that needs doing here as well, but perhaps I'll do that. Carry on doing that tonight. And there's one of my wave makers, it just doesn't work. I do need to replace that. I did have one over there as well. Yeah, so that's my tank. And that's what it looks like once I've cleaned it. There is another tank down here that could do with being cleaned. That's my quarantine tank. And down here is my the Amazon tank. This is a 170 litre one. We've got tetras in here. There's a Geophagus. We've got a catfish here, which is on I forget the name of it now, but he's quite big. He's getting on for 6.5 inches. Long tail, long finned pleco in there. There's a marigold pleco in there as well. It's like an albino one. And we've got some corys, albino corys. There's about 6 or 7 in there. There's probably around the back. There's one there. Nice tank. Just clean that filter out. It's the same filter but a smaller version of it, and it does a good job. So there's a load of wood in there, which obviously keeps the pH right for Amazonian fish. I want to put some plants in there. I've decided I'm going to go with plants again. I think the Geophagus won't disturb them, and they'll have to be in pots or on plants though, so probably have to go with plants that don't need soil really. So Java fern and the likes, maybe some. Oh, I have got a bamboo, stick of bamboo in there. Just chucked it in just to help with the filtration and just for a bit of a laugh really. The roots are still doing really well, and since I put it in, which was only about a week ago, it's actually shot up quite a bit. So if that works well, I might get one for that side as well, and maybe we'll get some. Well, I just don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how it's going to grow, we'll see. But yeah, I could get things like pothos and angle that in there maybe, but we'll see. Anyway, that's brilliant. Thanks very much for watching, and yeah, we'll crack on with the bird shed because there's lots of cleaning to do there now. Take care. Those straight into some hot water. There's a little bit of mite on them. Let's help to clean them. I'm going to strip this completely down and wash it. And then later in the next few days, because I'm not in any hurry to do this, because this has got to be ready for late March. What is it today? February the 14th, Valentine's Day. Hope you've all had a great Valentine's Day so far. Hope you've had nice presents and cards, or if you haven't, then maybe one day you will. Certainly expensive time, Valentine's. Yeah, my daughter's birthday today, so happy birthday to Rebecca, who's 27 years old today. Right. will need a wash, so I'll be taking those down to the kitchen. Warm soapy water. They're numbered. I don't know where they. I don't know which position they go in. Probably need to redo this and get rid of these grooves. Might just get in and perhaps do the little hole like I've done on the other ones and then push the fronts up and then drop them down. For the moment, I think we'll go this season. Well, we'll see how I feel like. I want to move on with it. So yeah, the canaries were in here, and they were there's a lot of feather pecking, feather flocking, and blood splattering around off where the feathers have been pulled out, and in this case it's been really messed up. Now I can pull the tray out, but there's so much stuff in here that I have to do this first of all. I think that bag's full. Now, even though these trays are filthy, there isn't any sign of any mite, which is really good. So that could be because it's the winter and they're just less prevalent. Or could be down to the amount of diatomaceous earth which I do put on the bottom of the cages. Also, when we've had the mite in these cages, they do tend to be in the higher cages, not the ones that are lower. I don't know if that's got anything to do with it. The mite will be higher up. The warmth, maybe? I don't know. Looking at my lower cages tend to have less mite. And they're tend to be the ones I get clean out the least as well. So it's a bit weird, really. So that's the first set of cages. Just had a bit of a basic clean, which just means I've got to just the seed and rubbish out. So now I'm going to use the hot water and soap and just give it a wipe down and see if I can get the, if I can loosen or moisten a lot of the muck. It will come off a lot easier. So this is just the first day of this cleaning. I've got no massive urgency to get these clean. I haven't got the birds that are going into this cage till, well, early April. It's the first of late March, so isn't it? Over a month and a half, possibly, before I actually get birds in here. As and when I've got days off, in fact I'm off all this week. To be fair, it'll probably be done by the end of this week. And then have it painted up. Then I can move on to the above cages later on in the month, as and when I remove starfinches, and if I also give up on the Bengalese fostering any more eggs. Bear in mind, that top cage is going to be a canary cage from late March, and we're already mid-Feb. So really I need to look at moving them out of there. I need to start thinking of where I'm going to be putting them, and perhaps even if it is the right thing to be using them as fosters. Bear in mind the last chick that they had hatched, it died, it was a cutthroat. You know, are they really capable of fostering anyway? They did foster 3 starfinches and only 1 survived, so you know, the success rate's not amazing, but to get 1 is good, I suppose. But now I know that the starfinch pair are good parents and they do a really good job, then there's no need to use the fosters for them, is there? Yeah, this hot water's doing the job. I cover this with plastic when I wasn't using it. I took the plastic off to use it because of the amount of young I had and where I put them. And I wanted these in the cages, so there's a lot of sellotape sort of marks around the front part, but the hot water is getting that off, so that's good. And I probably will be giving it another coat of paint. I'm pretty sure I will be. Probably 1 coat. Let's see. Sometimes with a scraper, sometimes it takes the paint off, not just the muck. So what I want to try and do is soften the muck up. And then quite often, once, twice over with a sponge, and the rough part of the scouring part of the sponge, just get the stuff off. It'd be a lot easier if these were plastic cages, obviously, or metal. Maybe that's what I should be doing. Maybe I should have metal cages. But at the time I was on a budget. Well, I thought I was on a budget, so it was a matter of doing bits, you know, building stuff myself. At least if I build things myself, I can make them the size I want exactly. Disadvantage is, of course, cleaning isn't so good, and actually once you've spent money on this bit of wood, that bit of wood, these bits, the back, the top, the LEDs, the cage fronts, you end up spending probably more than what you would have done if you've just got some metal cages. So, well, this type of metal cage, you know, the ones that you just hang on the wall, you're going to have purpose-built cage blocks, I think that's a good way of doing it if you can afford those. You know, metal backs, solid metal backs, nice metal trays. It's going to be easier. It's going to be easier to clean. So when you're going to have less light problems and any sort of hygienic part of it always going to be a lot easier to look after, isn't it? But I just think there's a bit of fun in doing it yourself and making your own cage. And take a lot of time. You haven't got to paint it, you can just have a wood colour, and you don't have to be trimmed on how you want, you know. You can have a massive gap down the side, as long as it's big enough, you know, it's not too big for birds to escape from. You can have quite a sort of very basic cage at the end of the day, as long as you can use chicken wire, as long as you've got the box of the right size, the birds are okay, and the birds aren't going to be complaining, are they? They're not going to be saying, oh, this that last cage I was in with a lovely painted blue sides to it, and this one's not with any effort, you know. Not changing rooms, is it? It's not getting points for what the cage looks like, and the birds certainly ain't going to be bothered. As long as it's got all the stuff they need and it's the right size for them, they'll nest in it. It's a bit like with fish tanks. You can put fish in a tank. You don't have to put rocks in there, and you don't have to clean the glass on the front of the screen. You've just got to put fish in there. As long as the water parameters are great for them, they're fine and they're not bothered. But of course, it's not so good to look at, is it? So if you want to clean the front of your tank, you're doing that for yourself. You're not doing that for the fish. You're doing it so that you get a better enjoyment out of the hobby. And I enjoy making the cages. Although it does take a long time. Sometimes you're doing something a lot of times. It's very repetitive. I mean, here I've got 12 trays. The worst part of making these cages was making the 12 trays. I mean, they were all much the same, slightly different measurements each one to fit, and that's why I had to number them. And doing the same job over and over again was a bit boring. But when you see the end result and you know that you made it yourself, then it is rewarding. I would say it is for me. Anyway, I feel that's what it is. I'm sure I've done a video of me cleaning these cages before. There's a video going back, I think it's February last year, setting up the canary breeding cages. So quite a few hits. I think it's my most watched video. If you get a chance to watch that, you can find that. I think it's setting up the canary cages, and it's February 2021. So already we're looking a lot cleaner. This is just the first attempt, just trying to get a proper wipe down of everything, soften up a lot of the muck. Because it's Valentine's Day, I'm probably going to go and take the girlfriend out now. So I can't be spending all day in here. I think I've got to take my daughter's birthday present, so I'll find where she is. Pass her on to that. So I've got things I need to do. So that's a good start anyway. It's going to need quite a few going overs before I'm happy with that. And we've got tomorrow and the day after. You can see it wets it, starts to help to dislodge it, and then second or third time around it tends to get rid of it. But for the moment, we're going to leave that. So it's had a good wipe down. I think next time I do it, I'll be putting a bit of bleach in the water as well. Right. So, yeah, so that's a lot better, but still nowhere near right. Bottom one's not so dirty anyway. I'll leave that as it is. I need to sweep up a bit now. Yeah, so let's go back to these mannikins. I'll show you a little video I made earlier on where I managed to get her off, but I don't want to disturb her again. So let's just show you that video now. Yeah, so they're quite cute, aren't they? Definitely got food in the crops, which is a great sign, and I'm really chuffed. Obviously, I've said this many a time when I've got excited about birds and then they don't make it. So it's just fingers crossed. Yeah, so these are the starfinch babies. They're still doing great. Obviously they're not colouring up yet. It's too early. I don't know how long it is before they start to show whether they're cock or hens, but they're really getting on well. And we've got the alfinches over here, a pair of alfinches, and that other African silverbill. They're not on anything at the moment there. We have got the starfinch pair are sitting now. They're really sitting tight because the young are now been removed. I feel that they're going to concentrate on the eggs that they've got in there. I've candled them, and we have got 4 that are full and 1 that's not. So we're looking at 4 chicks there. I think that's a perfect amount for them, so hopefully they'll look after those. There's I think that one's the hen. I can't really tell them apart, but they have got rings on their legs. And I've seen the other one singing. I need to see the other ring on the other leg. Can't see it at the moment. No, it's a dark blue. That's the cock. So the hen is mostly on the nest, and that is the cock. So he's getting some food there, and there's a bit of egg food in there. I've just used a normal egg food mix, a bit of carrot, a bit of broccoli, garlic, seaweed, thrive on, a little bit of crushed mealworm. It's all really finely done. Some egg shell in there as well, and then I put some millet in there as well. So it's a bit of a mixture really. Seems to be doing okay at the moment. He does eat from it, so I'm presuming he's feeding them that. Birds are out at the moment as well. Look at the golden cocks here. See, they're nearly ready now. That red head one there, looking really good. In fact, yeah, there's just a few tiny little flicks on his head that haven't quite molted out. So yeah, good. Right, thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video of the mannikins, and also the video I did of the cleaning the fish out. Alright, so thanks very much again, and yeah, please like, subscribe, and any comments, we'll appreciate it as well. Cheers, thank you, keep smiling.